Sometimes I look back on some of the decisions I made and I honestly ask myself, like, did your brain just fall out your ear in that moment? Welcome and welcome back to Life of the Muse. I'm the Muse, this is my life, and you are the Muse Mafia. If you're not a member of the Muse Mafia, just subscribe, and then you're gang. Okay, I'm gonna start this story time by asking a question. You see the title of the story time. Yes, it's what it sounds like. Kinda. It's what it sounds like. Okay. Have you ever seen this movie called Riding in Cars with Boys? And Drew Barrymore is the main character, and then like the supporting main character is Brittany Murphy. Well, yeah. Maybe she's the supporting main character, but either way, Drew Barrymore is the main character, and the movie is exactly what it sounds like. Riding in Cars with Boys. I can't think of what their names were in the actual movie. I think it was Beth and Faye. But either way, these two teenage girls got their fast butts in this car with these men. And next thing you know, they are teen, unwed moms. Just, yeah, bad business. Well, one of the characters ends up getting married, but she can't stand her husband. Either way, long story short, the gist of that movie: don't let one stupid decision affect the rest of your life. Thankfully, in this story time, this stupid decision did not affect the rest of my life. But when I look back on it, I just keep reminding myself, like, girl, that could have went real bad. Also, before I start the story time, I'm going to show you my press-on nails. This is what I'm wearing right now. These are going to be available for sale in our R2G collection. They will be in various shapes, and it's also going to be in black and in blue. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you want to order these, send me an email or just send me a DM on any social media. Or this story time takes place my freshman year of college. So I went to NCCU in Durham, North Carolina, and it is an HBCU, and it was a dry campus. That is valuable information. I think that every college has this type of program set up for their incoming freshmen, but if not, I know mine did. At NCCU, they have orientation for the incoming freshmen, and you pretty much go stay on campus and you get oriented to the campus. You find out what building is for what major. You find out, you know, everything. Like, okay, this is what the sports, department looks like. This is what the music department looks like if you want to play an instrument. If you want to join a club, these are the clubs on campus. Just pretty much you come up here before all the, more seasoned students get here, and you find your way around. So while I was in orientation, this young lady, we're going to give her a name. Let's call her Raven. Raven walks up to me and she's like, "Hi, I'm Raven. What's your name?" And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Kim." And if you know me in real life, you know I'm not super social, but I knew that, okay, I need to make some friends up here because I'm going to be living up here in a couple months all by myself. So Raven was my first friend at NCCU. We met during orientation. Raven was a very free spirit, okay? Raven was always looking for an adventure. She's always looking for, the party, where the party at. Like, we're incoming freshmen. I wasn't excited to go off to college. I'm going to just be honest. I was leaving behind a lot of friends. I'm leaving behind my grandma. I'm leaving behind my siblings, my nieces, my nephews. I think at the time I was only an auntie to nephews, honestly. But I'm leaving behind so much, like, I was anxious. I wasn't excited. I wasn't like boy crazy or nothing like that. I really wasn't excited to go off to college. I was just doing it because it was what I needed to do. I wasn't excited. Raven, on the other hand, she was like, so we were both young. We're 18, single, I wasn't looking to mingle because I'm like, let me just get comfortable, let me get situated, and let me figure out what I got going on. I also had this loser boyfriend back home who doesn't matter, but I wasn't looking to mingle. Raven, on the other hand, was looking to mingle. She had expressed that. So, okay, cool. Fast forward, it's like the middle of the year, and Raven's a little bit younger than me, and Raven's also a little bit more, I'm not wanting to use the word naive, but she's more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm not. She's more likely to try to see things from your point of view before she gets upset with you. You know, she's just open-minded and ready and free, and honey, I was more like reserved, not really wanting to, I don't really want to talk to strangers, all this other stuff. But Raven was very social. Down in our student union, they had like pool tables, just this little lounge where you could sit and eat and watch TV. There were a bunch of little rooms where you could just be doing stuff. And also in the student union, there was about 10 tables where people would just be playing spades, like spades games, the cards, spades games, literally going all day from the moment the union opened to the moment the union closed. Because you got to think about it, just because you got an 8 o'clock class doesn't mean I do. So if I get up and get breakfast and I want to play cards until class, that's what I'm going to do. Literally people down there playing spades all day, every day, Sunday to Sunday, all day, every day. Raven and I and the group of friends we had, we were spades players. We loved a good card game. We lived for that. That's how we made most of our friends, is whooping tail in spades. So one day Raven is at the student union and she meets these guys. They're older than us. They're like seniors, if they were still enrolled, actually, now that I think about it. I think they were still enrolled because I think they were on the football team. But I think they were seniors. And they could tell that Raven was young and social. And I feel like every older guy, when they meet young, social, free women, they just assume like, oh, she's stupid. She's somebody I can, you know, whatever. So I don't know what the conversation was because I wasn't there. I just know that Raven came back to the room and she's like, hey, I met these guys and I want to go hang out with them. And I'm like, crap. Because Raven was my first friend at NCCU, I pretty much put myself in the big sister headspace when it came to her. So I really didn't let her do, and yes, I didn't let her do stuff by herself, like when it came to boys. Like, you don't have no reason to be by yourself. It's me, her, and we had 4? Yeah, so I think our friendship group was 6 girls. And so it's me, her, we got 4 other girls. You should never be by yourself with these knuckleheaded boys. We don't know them. And then that's another reason I wasn't excited to go to college. I had already heard about, you know, the date rape at the parties, and I had heard way too much on the news and way too many horror stories. I was like, damn, I got to go to college? Ugh. I felt so unsafe, but Raven did not. Raven was just this free bird, and she's like, yeah, let's, I want to go hang out with these boys. Come with me. I'm like, all right, sure. It's 2 of us. I'll go. To be completely honest with you, I don't know how we ended up in the car with them. I think it was because we're freshmen. So I think that they like baited us like, oh, we'll take you to go get something to eat. We'll take you to some random fast food restaurant that I can't even think of. Like, that's how easy it was to get 18-year-olds in the car. That's why I started this video the way I did. You got to think. Don't be me and Raven. Think your decisions through. Don't be me and Raven. Now, back then, cut on your location with your iPhone. Like, there wasn't a thing. Oh, my gosh. When I think about how long ago I was 18. But, yeah, that wasn't a thing. So this was actually stupider. Like, it was dumber for us to be doing this back then than it would be for you to do it now. But you still shouldn't do it now. We hop in the car. These guys done told us. I do feel like it was food related. Like, they told us they were going to take us to get something to eat. I don't know where we were supposed to be going, what we were supposed to be eating. I do know. We are riding down the road, and the car is so full of people. I think that Raven is on my lap. Like, Raven's on my lap, and there's people on either side of us. Of course, there's people in the front. And I just remember the driver kept turning around aggressively flirting with Raven. And I don't want to repeat what he said, but he was offering to make Raven happy in certain ways. So it was just him being so vulgar with it. Yeah, you need to let a real Florida boy, blah, 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 blah. I just remember sitting there being sick to my stomach, because it's one thing for him to be saying this to her. It's another thing for him to be saying this to her in front of me and in front of all these other men in the car. I told you Raven was on my lap, so it was probably like 6 of us in a 5-seater. That was dumb too. It's 2 18-year-old girls and 4 20-somethings-year-old guys. That's dumb. That's dumb. We could have very easily been overpowered. They could have had us in all types of compromising positions. Then, like I said, we get in a car to go get something to eat. We never ended up with food. They didn't even take us where we were supposed to be going. They didn't even take us where we were expecting to be going. So it's just like, that situation was dangerous for multiple reasons. Please don't do nothing stupid like this. I'm only telling you because looking back is like, haha, because we made it out. But, girl, so yeah, we're in the car and this man is aggressively flirting with my girl, and just he keeps turning around and talking to her like the road ain't in front of him. Real vulgar. So I'm already like, she's just giggling. She thinks it's funny. I'm already uncomfortable because I'm like, yeah, we done effed up. We done effed up big time. This is when I start looking around at, everybody around me like, I should not be in this vehicle. I should not be in this vehicle. Now, mind you, I mentioned that me and Raven had 4 other girls we would hang out with. We didn't tell them where we were going because we didn't want to be talked out of it. So I guess we knew it was stupid and we did it anyway. We end up with these guys at a motel.
No.
A freaking motel. We end up at a motel with these guys.
I know how dumb it is. Don't be judgmental.
And I'll never forget being hesitant to get out the car. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we here? Where's the food? Why are we here? And Raven's like, come on, it'll be fine. Come on, let's go. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that this next piece of the story is the most clear part of the story to me that I can recall. And I can still picture this happening to this day. None of this is a lie. None of this is me exaggerating. We walk in this motel room. There's 5 or 6 other people in here already. There's girls in here, so that made me calm down a smidge, because then I'm like, they could be, just as bad as the boys. I don't know. But when I discovered that it was time for me and her to get the hell out of there, is when we walked in the room. So there's a little strip of space, then the bed, then another little strip of space, and then the bathroom. I walk past the bed and get to this other little strip of space. I look to my left. I don't know what made me look over there, but I did. I looked to my left. This young man, it's a young man that was already in the room. He's laying on the floor, but he's literally laying on the floor like this is the floor, this is his face. I'm not exaggerating. This man was laying on the floor, face down, face touching the ground. There's no way that when he woke up, his nose wasn't sore, because his whole face was on the ground. In that moment, I'm like, Raven. And she's still being social and enjoying herself. She's curious at this point, looking around the room. I said, hey, we gotta go. We gotta go. So she starts trying to, oh, we should go back. Can y'all take us back? Blah, blah, blah. The boys at this point, they're acting like they don't even know who we are. Like, not really, but they like, oh yeah, in a minute. Like, we just some insignificant nobodies to them now. I don't know if they planned for the night to go one way and then they realized it wasn't. I don't know if they planned for the night to go one way and then like a money move came up. I don't know what happened, but we ended up in a motel room that very much resembled a trap house. And this young man, I want to say he was asleep, because if he wasn't asleep, then was he? Not only did it bother me that this young man was like on the ground, face first, face down, nobody in the room seemed to care. Like, I swear I seen somebody like step over him. Towel tucked under the bathroom door, so you already know some illegal stuff going on in here. Yo, we got to go. We got to go. So like I said, me and Raven had 4 other girlfriends, and we were just this little clique on campus. 2 of us had a car. 2 of us had a car. Danielle had a car, but Danielle lived very close by. Like, her hometown was 30, 45 minutes away from campus. So she was at home every weekend. Every chance she got, that girl went home. And she, you know, if I could, I would have too. She had a life at home. So we couldn't call Danielle, and yes, these are all code names. We couldn't call Danielle to ask for a ride, but we did call her to ask for like advice. Like, girl, we stranded. We with these boys. Please don't ask. Please don't yell. Like, we'll get to what makes sense later. We just need to get us out of here. Danielle's like, well, y'all gonna have to call Victoria. We like, no. Victoria, she wasn't mean or anything like that, but she wasn't judgmental either. I don't know why we were so terrified to call her now that I look back. She wasn't mean, but I think we knew, like, even though she's not mean, she about to tell us about ourselves. She about to get in our shit. And that's not going to be pretty. And then she was asleep. Like, we didn't want to bother her. We called Victoria. And she's like, hello. Like, oh, fuck. She is, like, in the middle of some good sleep. We don't even know where we are for real. I think one of us had to like go to the little, you know, where they keep the phone in the motel and stuff, and like find the address. We had to find the address, tell her where we were, beg her to come get us. Now, I can thankfully say that all 6 of us were raised in the type families like, do not leave your friend by herself. So even though Victoria was pissed, she probably heard her mama's voice in the back of her head, like, get up and go get them girls. Get up and go get them dummies. She got there. She picked us up. And she definitely told us about ourselves. She wasn't ugly, but she told us everything we needed to hear, because how did y'all stupid butts end up down here? Like, if my daughter does half the stuff that I did, her ass is grass. That wasn't the most eventful story time, but it is a real story. It did happen. But the reason I wanted to tell it is because where we, not easily, but kind of easily, relatively easily, where we easily escaped a potentially bad situation, a lot of people don't, men and women. Don't be so optimistic that most people are good people. Don't be so optimistic when it comes to giving people the benefit of the doubt. Don't get in anybody's car that you don't know. I can't tell you them boys' names. Not one of them. I can't tell you their names to this day. And I can't tell you their majors. None of that. None of that. None of that. Don't allow your desire to be accepted to get you in a bad situation. Don't allow your friendliness and your social skills to get you in a bad situation. A lot of people just blindly trust when they shouldn't. You shouldn't blindly trust anybody. You should let people earn your trust and then give it to them as they earn it. Do not blindly trust anybody. You would think that we never mess with those guys again. But on a separate occasion, after this car ride, they invited Raven over for a kickback on campus. So, okay, this is a little bit safer. We can walk over there. There's an RA on every hallway. Like, we're fine. And NCC was a dry campus, like I mentioned earlier. So that means no alcohol on campus whatsoever. They can't do nothing about you going out to the club and buying a drink. But on this campus, no alcohol whatsoever. No wine coolers, no wine, no liquor, no beer, no alcohol. Dry campus. We were invited to a kickback. Well, she was invited to a kickback. They never really invited me, but she just knew, like, girl, don't go nowhere by yourself. So they invited her to a kickback. She turned around and invited me or asked me to go with her. We get to this dorm room. Now, the dorms that they were living in at the time is set up like an apartment complex, pretty much. Everybody got their own bedroom. There's a kitchen that you share. There's a living room that you share. And then there's 2 bathrooms to be shared between 4 people. So it's set up like an apartment. It's pretty, pretty nice living. And it was reserved for the upperclassmen. So we get there and it's supposed to be a kickback, right? I don't know what this was, but it wasn't a kickback. It was not a kickback. It was about 10 guys. And then when me and Raven got there, it was 2 girls. This is not a kickback. I don't know what y'all think this is, but this is not a kickback. This is not a kickback, and we are not staying. At this point, I got that last encounter on my mind, which, why would you go to a kickback? Like, literally, this whole video is just me telling you to use your brain and don't be stupid. It's not a super entertaining story, but use your brain and don't be stupid. When we get to the kickback, literally, like, there's a spades game going on. There's, like, everybody's in a corner doing their own thing. There was plenty of alcohol there on this dry campus. The alcohol was open, and it was clear that everybody in the room, these big grown football playing men, were already intoxicated. Me and Raven get to the kickback. These fuckers literally, like, okay, game over. Like, push the cards off the table, pull the table out the way, cut music on. There wasn't even any music playing before me and her got there. Cut the music on. All right, dance, y'all, dance. What? My dear sweet baby looked at me and said, "Do you want to dance?" I said, "Get your shit. We're leaving." Girl, you don't see what they're setting us up for. In this day and age, where so many women are missing, where so many Black women are missing, in this day and age, where sex trafficking is so prevalent, such a huge risk for anyone, anywhere you go, use your brain. You might have got a couple chuckles out this story, but please, 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 use your brain. Do not jump in random cars with random people. And for my college age people, for my younger adults, my 20-somethings, my, older teens, listen, don't be giving people the benefit of the doubt. Make them earn it. I don't care who calls you what. I don't care how lame you look. I don't care how antisocial you look. I don't care if Sally Sue did it. Don't be doing dumb. Don't. If I ever, which I don't have any kids right now, but if I ever found out one of my kids hopped in a random car for a random fast food meal and ended up at a random motel where a random man was laying on his random face. The motel that they drove us to was literally about 40 minutes away from campus, by the way. We didn't even realize how far away from school they took us. When Victoria came to get us, that's another reason she chewed us out so bad. What are y'all doing out here? We don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Who'd you come with? Johnny. What's Johnny's last name? Appleseed? Girl, shut up. Don't be out here doing dumb stuff. Don't be out here doing dumb stuff. Do not be out here doing dumb stuff. You don't have to do dumb stuff to socialize, okay? But I am going to leave it here. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, again, be smart, be safe. Take care of yourself. Bye.